Uganda is a place of wondrous natural beauty, bustling cities, and idyllic villages. The African Great Lakes, including Lake Victoria, pepper its borders. It's also home to a tiny, cramped neonatal intensive care unit that serves a region with a population of about 4 million. That NICU produces a sea of statistics about infant mortality and birth rates. But for the mothers and babies who end up there, the only critical number is how much weight the baby has gained or lost each day. At the center of these swirling statistics, we met a family with 2 young children, a couple of medical degrees, and an exceptional lifestyle. The family was called to Mbale, Uganda from the UK, though not in the traditional missionary sense, called by God. They don't identify as religious. They felt the simple call of human need.
Kathy's a neonatologist, and Adam's an anesthesiologist, and they have 2 beautiful young daughters. They hail from the UK, and despite having worked and traveled all over the world, they've decided Mbale, Uganda is the place that they like to raise their little family.
We're headed from the capital, Kampala, to Mbale Regional Referral Hospital, where Kathy and Adam operate out of. They run a charity devoted to newborn healthcare called Born on the Edge. We're looking forward to introducing you to Kathy, Adam, and the work they do, but it's about a 4 to 5 hour journey, and there's a lot to see along the way.
I think one of the cool things about this trip right here is leaving Kampala, going through Jinja, crossing the Nile, and heading over to Mbale is that you get to see the towns, you get to see, in this area, kind of the swamplands, really things I think that people don't think of when they think of Uganda. Anytime Craig says, "Stop the van," that's when the trouble begins. But we can eat this if we can just get it out of the hole. Oh my God. Where did Earl die? It was a Muslim congregation that was getting together. We were welcomed in with peace and love and brotherhood, and we were almost converted. After the traditional Ugandan circumcision ritual, ill-advised lizard hunt, and the Muslim revival, we were only about halfway to Mbale and on the shores of Lake Victoria. As Africa's largest lake and second largest in the world by some measures, a small detour seemed in order. Followed by a sampling of the local fare, silverfish. We arrived in Mbale late in the day and prepared for an early start.
Kathy and Adam's day starts like any family with young children, but it quickly diverges as Kathy leaves the secure compound they call home and heads to Mbale Regional Hospital. Adam won't be too far behind her. They founded Born on the Edge to improve newborn healthcare worldwide. Mbale Regional Hospital is their first and largest project. Their goals are to educate local healthcare providers, develop and implement modern healthcare systems, and create sustainable practices, in theory. In reality, they do all that and 1,000 other things.
Kathy explains that the Mbale Regional Hospital is funded by the Ugandan Ministry of Health and serves a population of 4 million people in the region. Due to space limitations and crowding, visitors and even some patients spend most of their time outside.
So in the neonatal unit, because it's so small and we had space for 10 mothers to sleep, now we haven't got anywhere for anyone to sleep, so they have to sleep outside, which is fine if it's a nice day like today. They can sit out here, they will put their stoves down here and they cook. But if it rains, all of these people will try and squeeze into that tiny space in there. So if it's power's out, it's raining and it's nighttime.
Right.
must just be horrific. I mean, this is a super busy hospital. We have about 10,000 deliveries a year. So if I can give you a comparison to a hospital back home in the UK, a busy hospital in the UK would deliver about 6,000 or 7,000 a year. When I first moved here, why would you have that many children? You have so little food to feed those babies. Then when you actually begin to talk to friends and patients, you realize that yes, they had 8 or 9, but they lost 2 when they were a baby. They lost another one from meningitis. They lost another one from a road traffic accident, another one from malaria. And actually, they've only got 3 that are alive. So to get from 0 to 5 here, it's just such an achievement. Hats off to anyone here who makes it to 5 years old, because it's not easy to get there.
Kathy takes me and a Western medical professional, Manoj, to where she spends most of her time, the neonatal intensive care unit.
Wow. Good morning. First time I walked into the NICU, I was just shocked. It's hot, it's open air, it's chaotic, it's loud, it's cramped. You can't walk very far without touching somebody, and you're largely touching someone the whole time.
Yeah.
My daughter started out in NICU in the US, but it was very far from this.
I think I've probably forgotten a little bit what it's like.
Right. This single biggest barrier to successful outcomes is what?
Space. Yeah. The babies are so close, they spread all their infections. We spread infections to each other. You feel like you want to wash your hands and you're stuck in that tiny corner there.
This particular NICU is intended for how many babies?
10.
So we have more than that.
When we designed it, we had these beds here, so that was for the mother to sleep on. And I have got photos when we first opened with the mother sleeping here, either doing kangaroo if it was a small baby, or if not, then the baby could go in the couch at the end. And now we can have up to 7 babies on every bed.
Do you have to turn away?
We never turn away, we just squeeze. There's nowhere to refer them to, so...
This is it.
This is it. Perfect.
You're working almost 6 days out of a week, pretty much.
And always on the phone if they need.
So much. How do you do it?
If you enjoy something and you're passionate about it, you don't mind. It's not a job, you know. No one pays me to come to work. I came back to work when my baby was 3 weeks old. You know, if I don't come to work, no one's going to replace you. So to see those mothers come back with a baby that's alive.
It's the aspect of seeing
change
the mother's face before or after.
Right. Hey, Manoj, there's room for you here.
I don't know if I could do it. I might do it for a month or 2, but somebody that's been here for so long, that's true passion.
Wow. Kathy had some work to do, so we caught up with Adam in between his lectures at the medical school and a few surgeries he was overseeing the anesthesia for.
I just came out of the neonatal clinic a second ago, and sweating, it's hot, and it's open air like this, and shocking at some level. And in the meantime, while Kathy's over there, you're here. I think you were just lecturing, I believe.
Yes, doing some teaching with the medical students.
But I thought you did anesthesia.
Well, I do anesthesia, but what I was teaching today was just teaching basic principles of how to assess a sick patient for the medical students. So teaching them some good basic skills. Yeah. So Kathy helps to run the neonatal unit and spends most of her time there. I find myself somehow getting involved in everything from fixing broken equipment to helping, they're building a surgical complex.
Right.
So I go to the meetings and give them some technical advice.
Right, yeah.
Designing curriculums in the university.
Right.
Trying to make sure we have drugs in stock, donations overseas, all of pretty much anything.
Adam had to head into surgery, and as he did, we found out the water had just stopped working. These conditions are extreme, but through their partnership with the hospital, they've made real progress. The difficult but encouraging numbers around the NICU say it all.
They hadn't collected the data before, and we found that first month 120 admissions, and we had a 52% mortality. So it's that 60-something babies died, and most of them die within the first 24 hours that they've been admitted. So we didn't need much space, because if they come in and they die, it's kind of easy. So when we designed our new neonatal ward, based on extrapolating those numbers, we thought we'd need space for about 10 babies. Last month we hit 209 admissions, so we've almost doubled our admission rate.
Right.
And our mortality's now dropped to about 15-16%. So we have about between 20 and 30 deaths a month, which is still horrible to look at.
Right.
You know, when you have your big file each month of who's died, it does make you feel sad. But compared to if we'd had a 52% mortality of 209 babies, that's 105 babies dying. I definitely could have coped with that. I'd have left long ago.
The increase in admittance and the decrease in mortality is amazing. But success has consequences. As more babies survive and people arrive from farther and farther away because of the hospital's reputation, it exacerbates the space issue. And not only that, it can be very hard on those who come into Mbale from all over the region.
Our mothers struggle to live here. It's like me going to London and trying to live off takeaways and in a hotel for however long you're in hospital, and it's so expensive. Here, they can't live off their own land. They're buying all the time, so it's really not sustainable.
These are families. I mean, it's just not one woman who happened to come in on the ambulance. You're really displacing a whole family with the siblings and the other family members.
Well, for that, I mean, it's really hard. They come here, and you're right, they'll come and they'll have one attendant with them, and it's normally an auntie or a friend. The father, we don't often see them, but we do occasionally. The mother comes here with the attendant. The attendant then has had enough. She's got her own family to look after. So you've got a mother left here on her own who's post-delivery. She's got pain. It's hard for her to move. She will need someone to look after her, but she's often here on her own. So there's a lot of bargaining with them, you know, and explanations that they have to stay here to complete their treatment.
This is Sauda. Sauda and her husband Denis live here in Mbale, and so in some ways have it much easier than others. But their daughter still requires 24-hour care and at least one of the parents to be there the entire time. Often that means they're outside to get the baby sun or practicing, quote, kangaroo care by swaddling the baby against their chest for warmth and skin-to-skin contact.
When you brought your baby here, did you think that you would be able to leave with your baby healthy?
I feared a lot. I've never seen such.
I was told she even carried the cloth where they're going to put the dead body.
So when you came, you didn't bring clothing for your baby to leave with a nice dress because you felt like you were having to,
The dead body.
that you would leave with your dead body.
I was surprised. I've never seen that before.
Dr. Kathy is a special woman.
Very special. She loves babies. She has that love, much love for babies.
We saw you and you're like the third baby on a bed with 5. You've got 2 babies on either side of you. And you spend most of your days there beside your baby, is that correct?
Yeah. You have to sit around, supervise the oxygen.
Right.
When it goes off, you have to put back. So if you are 2 people, it will help you. One comes out to rest, the other one is inside. When she gets tired, she comes outside.
Who
I
comes?
go back.
So you replace her.
Yeah,
You're her.
that's what we do.
And you have a job as well. I mean, you're a teacher,
I'm a teacher, professionally,
and now you have this responsibility.
and I'm a professional.
A kangaroo.
And you're a kangaroo.
Yes, I'm a kangaroo here. I feel good really when I put her here. I really feel good.
Right.
In fact, one of the challenges I'm seeing, by the time I've stayed here, I've spent everything I've saved on feeding.
So you spend most of the evenings in here?
Yeah.
Do you have a place to go home and stay, or do you mostly stay here at the clinic?
We mostly stay here. I go home maybe when there is something I'm going to pick. Go pick up breakfast, come back.
Right.
Lunchtime I go pick lunch, supper, and maybe I get for something to eat at night. At night she eats.
Well, she is a mother.
Yeah.
Denny was headed home to prepare lunch for he and Sauda. We tagged along to see what it was like for a family living in Mbale. All right, we're on our way to go see Dennis's house. Can't see anything going wrong here.
Never seen a Muzungu. So
She's never seen the Mzungu.
she's scared. Who is this one?
Hello.
You see where the baby will be staying.
So this is one. You have 3, and then 2, 3 on the other side. 6 in this one little block. 6 more behind it. Gotcha.
This is where we are going to bring our baby, me and my wife.
What do you worry about as a father?
My biggest worry when I bring in my baby, in most cases, is feeding them. And you know, they are delicate.
Right.
So that is my worry. Every morning when I wake up, I pick up my stove, move outside, prepare some water.
Where does the water come from?
We have a tap outside.
You just bring it in
here. But it is on and off.
Oh,
so
really?
whenever it comes, you make sure you get enough. Prepare some simple food for my wife. At times I prepare, at times I have to buy. In a day you are using something like 20,000. It's really
Against
much.
300,000 a month, that's a ton of, that's, I don't know how you do it.
And
And you're an artist.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first thing I noticed as soon as we come in.
This is a circumcision sequence.
Yeah, sequence.
Remember this? Same thing. To be honest, it makes me nervous just looking at these.
Why doesn't he look happy?
So, when they're cutting you, even if you feel pain and then fall down, they pick you, get hold of you, get the legs, and then
They keep going?
Yeah, forcefully until they finish it.
Wow. Yeah, there's no half circumcision.
Yeah, they have to complete it.
And then the other one, this is the marwa.
Yeah, there is that one of millet, and then there is that one of maize. That one of maize is weak. Then that one of millet, it's made by itesoids, and it can make you drunk very fast.
Okay, we might just get a chance to do that.
Yeah.
After eating lunch with Sauda, Denis headed back to work where he teaches art at a local high school.
All right, so we're here with Dennis. He's an art teacher, and so he's going to introduce us to his class. Now it's our cue. Malembe. Earl and Craig.
When he finished work and after he dropped off dinner for Sauda, he offered to show us where they make malrua, the fermented local beverage he had immortalized on canvas. How could we say no?
And it's strong, I can already tell.
Yeah, that one, if you take that one.
This one is the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you think, brother? I will tell you, it's better than Coors.
I'm not sure we're fans of the stuff, but the experience made a biker bar seem boring.
So when you see the mountain, does this make you feel like you're at home?
Yeah, you feel good.
Yeah, and where you came from, it's right up here?
Yeah.
Is it in that direction?
Yeah.
It's a night out for this new father, so we took him to dinner where he enjoyed the reprieve from this stressful time in his life.
Cheers. Hopefully health and family.
It's Sunday morning and Denis is no doubt headed back to the hospital, but for Kathy and Adam, this is their only day off. They graciously invite us to their home so we could get a better sense of their lives here.
Well, we didn't know how long we were coming for, like maybe 1 year or however long. So we lived here with next to no furniture or anything for about a year. We had one sofa, one bed. And then when we decided we were staying, we branched out a little bit and got a bit more furniture. So it's a bit more like home now. When we came back last year, we brought back photos and things and put them up. So yeah, very much feels like home.
What was the decision to come here? I mean, again, out of all the places.
We've always wanted to work overseas. The problem had been we'd never worked overseas together. We got married in 2007 and then we spent some time living together, but because I was in the military and then Kathy worked in Thailand, we'd been living apart for a long time.
Right.
So the most important thing was to find somewhere we could live together.
And apart, right? Just to be clear, you guys rarely see each other.
Well, we do see each other, at least we see each other in the evenings.
There you go.
Every Sunday. No, we do pretty well. So we were looking, people recommended lots of places in Uganda, and Mbale just happened to be the first place we visited, and we liked it so much we came back.
But what were the things that you're weighing though when you're deciding, okay, yes, we want to work overseas, and we also want to have children?
It has to be safe for the children, that's the main thing. And when we visited here, we saw 2 or 3 families with lots of children, expats or Mzungus, and they said it was safe living here. So that's the most important thing.
What's different about raising kids, do you think, here versus, all of your friends from school?
It's so much more relaxed, I think. I mean, they spend all their time outside. Even when we want to be in, they want to be out. And even young children of my friends back home, they spend a lot of time, I think, inside on computers, on iPads and things like that.
But you don't have computers and iPads for the kids?
We do have computers, us two, and then Eseld has an iPad, or she calls it an iPadum, which I think comes from Adam, but anyway, it's stuck.
Right,
so we personally own an iPadum. It's your friend, is it?
Hello.
Hi, Patience, how are you? You're very smart today.
All right.
Are you just from church? Yes. How is Mummy? How is Baby? I guess it's possible they miss out on stuff, I see my friends going to family farm trips and that kind of thing, or adventure playgrounds, or perhaps simple things like going to feed the ducks. But that said, we can go for a walk in the morning and we see a cow delivering a calf on the side of the road. So
Do they have cousins?
They have lots of cousins, yes.
So do you miss that?
Yeah, I really miss them and seeing them grow up. and they won't have any idea really who I am. The beauty is of Skype now, that you can speak to them and see them, so they recognize us, and the ones that are a bit older remember us, and vice versa, you know, they want to see these ones and see how they're growing up.
We came probably to stay for maybe a year, but the longer we stay here, the longer we will stay here. So using work as an example, in the NHS, I mean, there are lots of gaps, but they don't miss us.
Right.
Whereas here, if we left, there would be a big gap. And as the longer you stay, the more you get involved in, the more responsibilities you have, and the more you take on. And so it's harder then to leave. Really, everything that we do, we try and make it sustainable.
But there's a period to develop sustainability.
Of course, but we've been here now 2.5 years. With Kathy in the neonatal unit, when she first came, they would never have been able to do what they can do now. But we went back to the UK last year to have Lowenna for 7 weeks, and things almost nothing changed. If you're always thinking about making sure the things you do are sustainable, then if you had to leave, let's say if something happened to one of our families or something happened to one of us, then hopefully maybe 60 or 70% of what we do would remain.
This is the period of time, and this is really your opportunity to make, your money. It's these next 10 or 15 years. So how much does that factor into?
What are you making money for? If I think about what I need money for, one is our children to go to school, and the other thing is when you retire, you have to be able to live happily. We don't need much. Depends what you want, isn't it?
So, it's not about the money. The hospital doesn't even pay them. They only survive on donations. And it's not about faith or religion. Why do they do it? Well, we got some idea on the last day at the hospital. Meet Harriet and baby Dora.
Your hair's very beautiful today. Maybe you even knew you were going to go into television. It looks very lovely.
Do you recall how much she weighed, and how much does she weigh now?
She was weighing 1.1, and now she's 3.1.
She's huge.
She's not huge. She makes me happy now. I was so afraid of it. I lost hope completely. I even told her that maybe you just let me go back home because I'm wasting maybe just time. But she did a lot. She just returned my hope in me, and she gave me happiness again. Indeed, I'm now happy. And then I remembered that I'm not the only one. We are many going through this situation. So once, when I also enter inside them, I also tell them, at least we have a smile.
Yes.
Walk smiling.
Yeah.
2 smiles.
Yeah,
Two smiles.
Make us happy.
Thank you, Harriet. Really lovely to see you.
Okay, doctor.
Keep in touch. Tell us how she's doing when she's sitting, when she's walking. It's nice to see.
Laughing. She can laugh.
She can laugh. Can you laugh at me? I'm not very funny.
Namboso and her baby Miracle are more than just another success story. Namboso has also been trained to support and encourage other mothers in the clinic. It's a miracle sometimes to see what Kathy and her team are able to do for women that come in with babies who are very, very sick.
Yeah, but I appreciate Dr. Kathy for the good work she has done, because I couldn't expect this baby. But God is great. The baby survived. I try to advise those mothers.
Right.
My dear, do this and this. If you take the advice of the doctor, you are going to get what you want.
You're a great success story, and as you say, now you're able to help other women as well. That's brilliant.
So I thank Kathy for the good work she has done.
I've heard that. That's not the first time I've heard that she's done good work.
She has done a good work.
The list of people they've touched and the lives they've saved goes on and on. Kathy and Adam may not be from Mbale or even Uganda, but they're fighting to make a difference in the community they love.
Countless people have benefited from the work they do, but to hear them tell it, they feel like they've benefited most of all. No, they're not from there. And yes, Mbale is a long way from the UK, and the grandparents, and the financial success and professional rewards of the National Health Service. But they belong there, and by their own words, they may never leave.